So I'm starting just to read what I wrote in our catalog for you at the beginning of this big adventure, and then we can start to chat. So Beata Piekarska-Daly's environmental works are a pure representation of memories tied at that terrain, that landscapes, and its introspective meaning. Her fluid, painterly approach is close to the way of thinking, the flux of emotion, thoughts, and life. Beata Piekarska-Daly paints the ephemeral, what is evanescent in everyday life. This is very important, especially now, because we live in a digital age where everything is temporary. This loss of time, space, and pathos, according to Walter Benjamin and his The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, is gained again by her abstract art, which fixes this freedom flux to a painted surface. Her body of work so establishes an associative interplay with the space, the history, the beholder, and her imagination. So,
beautiful.
Let me know if it's still valid or not, and if your art is still developing, of course, like a human being, we are all developing. And then feel free to chat and do whatever you want. This is the last hour, so
for an hour we're gonna be bored of the people. Wow, wait, yeah. Yes, the thing that you just read, it's quite interesting. It's really like compressed and massive. It's like trying to compress something huge into only a few sentences. So this is how it feels. So I'm gonna just start with the story, like the paintings, which for me is like my art. It's a progress, but it's not really linear. It's more like a spiral that goes somewhere. I don't know where, actually. So this work is part of the story that it happens 20 years ago almost, but it was inspired 2 years ago when I was in the residency in here in Aracena. And over there, I came across a krios. So it's like a belt that men usually wear, holding them hands. And they use the manifold as well as something to carry seaweed or wood home from outside. So, and then I start with painting the outside. This painting is actually, as you know, 6 meters long. I have 2 of those. So this is like a huge scroll of nature. So it's form of a like a print, because when I paint in the open air, this one was painted in Phoenixburg. So you can see the way the soil and the way the material lies on the ground. That's how the paint responds as well. And it's quite interesting because you might ask as well, why don't you use a brush like everyone else? And that story from 2 years ago with this huge krios started 20 years ago when I studied history of art and when I was a student in the art of in Poland. I had a friend, we call him Fish. He studied physics, and we somehow befriend each other, and we start talking, exchanging ideas. And he was very interested in art, and I was very interested in science. So he introduced me to very new then almost idea, the theory of chaos. And the theory of chaos, as you know, allows a lot of things to happen. So, you know, like the butterfly effect. So when I'm in Phoenix and when I'm painting this scroll, I don't know. I can only manipulate the paint so much, choosing the thickness of the paint. And that's how I do. And the way how it dries sometimes. So I do manipulate, but this is like trying to control something that is uncontrollable.
Yeah.
So this is the scroll behind me. This direct response to the nature, to the shape of the terrain, as you say in your word, in the catalog. But at the same time, as I said, there could be a small fraction underneath there, or lighter, more diluted paint, and it's completely different painting. So I choose the color sometimes because the idea is a little bit, I want to do a little bit more. So this one was inspired by Ireland. And the second one as well, more like it because I was doing that last year. And last year in September, I think when I was in Indonesia, there was lots of hurricane, one after another. So there was the dark sky and this gray cloud. So the second scroll, which is also 6 meters, it's darker.
Yeah.
But bizarrely, there is a beauty in this dangerous sky sometimes, because when the sun came in, it's the best sunshine you can ever get. So in the second scroll, I have this dark clouds, dark indigo, navy color, gray, combined together with gold. And the same like when I was in January in Kinlarik residency, I was hiking a lot, looking for color inspiration in the forms, and there was a moment there was just before another hurricane. I don't know if this is normal. I think we all know this is not really normal, the hurricanes, but it was spectacular views. But what happened? It was the dark sky, sunshine shining through one very strong angle from really low sun, and there was the hailstones falling. So it was like miracle because the hailstones, the sun lit through the hailstones, and it looked like a diamonds, golds falling off the sky. So and I have to run home to the little stone cottage not to get soaked wet. It was freezing cold, very windy, and very beautiful at the same time. So this is the idea behind my paintings as well. Capture this uncontrollable things. Yeah. This is what we're facing now, I think, as well. More than ever, I think that is responding. I think what I will jump now that we're facing the hurricanes, but what's happened now in this year especially, that our attention got slightly extended to the condition of ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to shift now from the paintings onto the videos that I did, especially for Luan Gallery. So it's a collection of 4 little tiny Netsuko sculptures. Yeah. And that represents a human body in the fetal position. So there are different ones. I have one that I was using, and this is that small. Yeah. So this is the human body. So whenever we can show the video, maybe.
Yeah.
We can have
and then yes.
Yeah, it's actually premiere. It's very fresh, especially made for that long.
And it's very contemporary because it's connecting the human being, the nature of the human being, through the figure of the tiny little soap sculpture, but at the same time is connecting with this time that we are living, because we have to face this pandemic that is still here between us. The virus is again between us more than before. It seems like the situation it's going to be darker, I think, in a certain way, or just harder. We can just choose a word to describe this problem, but anyway, this is the situation, and we are in the middle of a global
challenge.
Yes, I don't know.
Enormous challenge, Valeria. I think the uncertain things that happen every day, that you really don't know what's going to happen, and how we really depend on each other.
Yes,
this is really paramount at this moment. So I know, like, I call this Manus Lavo, as you know. It's I like call my paintings and my works with Latin names, but it's form like not absolutely metaphorical, but exactly as it is. We all depend on these simple things like washing the hands, and I really aspire to be almost. I like the Latin because I want it to be almost like when you go to the church and it's the service and this Manus Lavo, but it's like almost my prayer for it to be finished. I want it to be finished like everyone else, I think. We want to come back to normality. We want to invite our friends for dinner and go to the restaurant without being afraid, of being or social distancing because of other people, We really, this is the moment when we really need to take care of each other.
Yeah, and this is... we have to be altruist. I think we have to learn to be altruist again, because I think in the past we were more responsible in a certain way of each other. Now, because probably the sense of community was stronger, but now with this, how can I say, capitalism or whatever it is, we forgot the respect of each other. So we need to think again what it means to stay together and stay safe together. Just because now I saw in Dublin things they are changing. For example, you can invite in your home just one person, for example. Just things they are changing again, and it's surprising me when. This morning I saw just on a post from the government on Instagram, I think, with this grid, with all these rules that you have to follow if you are in the phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in a certain way, it's surprising me because it's something that it has to be much more spontaneous for everyone, or just logical, because of course, if we are living in a pandemic time, we have to take care of each other, respect each other, have this physical distance that I prefer to call physical than social. Because anyway, we are socially engaged, all of us, but physically we have to stay apart. And wear a mask, that it's something that I really can't understand why people that they are not using the mask, because in this moment is the only one thing that we know that can save us, and wash the hands and is connecting again with humanity.
Yeah, we have to stay stronger. Hopefully the Manislava prayer will work.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't know if we will learn something from this pandemic. Hope so, and hope that your work and this video can help us to find a way to stay safe and clean.
Yes, and looking at this when we started the show like a year ago, we call this over nature because we want this like responding to the nature, but it's the condition between ourselves and the nature and how we correspond. And a year later, because of the pandemic, we should be already finished that like in June last year, June, and it's going. The last show is gonna be opening in Luan next week, and when we started 1 year ago, we never thought anything like that will be possible. No. And there is the enormous strain, and the question is still quite valid because, as we know, we are so delicate as a humanity, and nature is stronger. But then is the other question: is it really nature actually benefiting from the pandemic? Because as you said, the pollution is gonna be the face wipes or the hygienic wipes is gonna be everywhere now. So and that's only bit. And then of course we actually escaping into virtual reality now. Yeah.
Look at this event with the culture night. I remember last year we went to just in town and celebrating with so many other people this culture night event. I remember when we went into just that concert, and it was fabulous. And today it was completely different, my experience of the culture night, even because it is not a night, it is a culture afternoon, in my opinion. And anyway, it is different. Even we try to do this, just make this special, but it is, we are losing a lot. We are losing the contact, we are losing the physicality. And I don't know what will happen to the human being, in how we intend to a human being like before the pandemic. It will be different, of course, because every time you can meet another person, you can feel like, oh, this person can be just an instrument or just a vehicle for the virus to be.
I think we find a solution. I think a human has the ability to find a way of going through. So I do have a hope that thing will work. As you're right, I do really miss going to the concert. I miss going to the galleries. I miss just normal reality. But hopefully, like this spike, we contain it, and then I know that the vaccine is gonna be probably harder, but I will still encourage people, because the pandemic is so stressful for every one of us. To seek a way of finding a time to make an effort to go to the gallery, to maybe write something or even a sketch. Something to get creative oneself. Anything will do, I know, and look after each other, because what we have, it's very important. And what the maybe good thing is that we actually realize how much we like each other. You know, how much we need each other, and that's maybe the good thing. Although it's really, really. It's putting a strain on all of us. You know, and they just kind of
Yeah,
taking every day as it comes almost.
And
but how was the last year for you? Because I know it was extended, but like what do you think about the touring show and the aspect, like when we started in Limavady and then we went all around? It was like a journey almost.
It was a journey. It was a big travel, a big experience, a human experience, curator experience. I think it was extraordinary what we created and we made all together, because even we had our nice moment, bad moment, hard moment, wow moment. Anyway, it was a great experience, and I have just to admit that now that we are arriving at the end, I'm a little bit sad, and I'm a little bit like, and now what's next? Because for a year, and I have just to say, probably not only a year, but 2 years, because we met at the get-together in 2018, I think. And if I'm not too tired and confused. But, and then from that moment, I started to meet the other artists and think who can be part of this exhibition, and we started to find a place, venues where it was possible to install the show and do all these things, and it was I was so excited at that time, because we had so big expectation about this show, and now we arrive at the end. And anyway, we survived to a lockdown, and this is, even it's not the right time to celebrate, but anyway, I would like just to say it's a celebration, because we did it. And we did a big, in my opinion, it's a big touring exhibition. And anyway, it is something that happened during a hard moment. So I think we are twice, I can say like twice good, I don't know. But it's not only because we completed this big ring around Ireland, but it's because we did it during the pandemic. And anyway, we cooperate very well all together like a team. It was hard sometimes.
The logistics were a little bit tricky.
The logistics for me was very hard all the time. Coordinate everything, just because you are 6 and the venues are 6, and so all the time I had to coordinate to 6 artists plus 1 director or creator and technician and so many other people from that space. So it was all the time try to find the best compromise between all of us, all of you and me, of course. And that was the hardest job for me.
And I really missed you and Miss Timon, because like when we started, we have the opening, we have the speeches, we have the curator, like a show, a touring, little bit explanation about the work, which was really, really nice. But it ends time on. It was a beautiful place. What is really extraordinary about this touring show, that I've got to know Ireland better and know people better. It's so many nice people and so many professional people, so many fabulous technicians, as you know. And
oh my God, the technician, they saved my life. I have to say,
all the artists, and the artists that come into the openings to our talks, like for example in Letterkenny, it was so enriching, isn't it? I really loved that experience. As far as it was really hard getting there and bringing the works and making sure they're collected.
Of course, because it was hard for me coordinate, but it is hard
it was
for
very
you
intense.
and the others.
Month. It's like it was really intense at some moments. Like I cannot go any further, and there's a Christmas.
Yes, but we will miss it. I think at the end of this exhibition at the Luan Gallery, I think we will miss this over nature, because it is a part of our life, I think, in this moment. Anyway, we are all part of our life. You and, especially you, but also the others artists. And I will miss all of you, and I will miss over nature a lot. So anyway, thanks a million, Bea, for being here, for being just my friend and one of the artists of this show. And
thank you everyone who joined us as well. Have a lovely evening, and be strong, isn't it?
Yes, very strong.
yes. Hopefully.
Stronger in the health and stronger in the mind and stronger in the body and everywhere.
Yes. And hopefully to see you in a physical form.
Yes, not that like ectoplasm.
Not virtually. Nice, well.
So thanks again, and see you physically, hopefully soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.